45 stone blocks, each manufactured to the same tolerances, each weighing up to 144 tons. Each transported across a lake to a site sitting nearly 4 kilometers above sea level. When researchers fed 12 terabytes of scan data into an AI reconstruction of Puma Punku last year, they didn't recover a primitive ceremonial heap. They recovered a modular assembly system. Puma Punku sits on the Bolivian Altiplano near Lake Titicaca at approximately 3,850 meters elevation. It was built by the Tiwanaku civilization, a pre-Incan society that reached its peak around 1000 AD. Radiocarbon dating places initial construction at approximately 536 AD. That date is not contested. The method of construction is: in 2024 and 2025, researchers from Ball State University's IDEA lab conducted a drone LiDAR and terrestrial laser imaging campaign at the site, producing a digital model accurate to fractions of a millimeter. The AI reconstruction processed over 12 terabytes of image data. The results showed a tiered platform, 3 levels of stone retaining walls T-shaped in plan with internal corridors, drainage channels, and gateways. The H-blocks, whose interior right-angle recesses have been debated for decades, number 45 in the confirmed reconstruction. Everyone was manufactured to near-identical specifications, interchangeable components in a repeatable production system. The Tiwanaku had no documented writing, no iron tools, no draft animals, and no wheel. The geometric precision of those internal angles, correct to fractions of a degree, is consistent with what modern machining produces. Puma Punku was also never completed. When the Tiwanaku political system collapsed under an extended regional drought, the site was still under active construction. Ground-penetrating radar surveys conducted in 2025 identified a large subsurface anomaly approximately 18 meters from the Puma Punku Foundation, along with a network of channels and structural supports beneath the visible surface. These features have not yet been excavated, and their precise character remains unresolved in published peer-reviewed literature as of early 2026. The composition of the blocks is a separate and more contentious line of inquiry. Electron microscope analysis of the red sandstone at the site conducted by the Geopolymer Institute found sodium carbonate compounds not present in any local geological formation. The hypothesis advanced by geochemist Joseph Davidovitz is that Tiwanaku builders produced a geopolymer concrete, a mixture of crushed stone powder, kaolinitic clay, and alkaline activators were cast in molds rather than quarried and carved. This would account for the surface geometries that hand tools cannot produce on andesite. Mainstream archaeology has not accepted the conclusion, and the sodium carbonate anomaly has not been explained by an alternative hypothesis. In June 2025, Penn State archaeologist Jose Capriles published findings in the journal Antiquity on the Palaspata Temple Complex, a Tiwanaku site located 215 kilometers from Tiwanaku itself, measuring roughly 125 by 145 meters with 15 modular enclosures surrounding a sunken central courtyard. Charcoal samples date the most intensive use between 630 and 950 AD, coinciding with Tiwanaku's documented peak. The excavation recovered Keru cups used for chicha, ritual incense burners, marine shells from the Pacific coast, turquoise and obsidian tools from volcanic sources hundreds of kilometers distant, material evidence of a regional pilgrimage network. GCMS analysis of bone-snuffing tubes from Tiwanaku context confirmed alkaloids from Anadenanthera colubrina varsebel, a psychoactive compound producing strong dissociative effects. A study published by the NIH in June 2025 corroborated this across neighboring Andean ritual contexts. Access to these substances was controlled by Tiwanaku elites as a formal part of the ceremonial structure. The alignment of Palaspata and related Tiwanaku buildings to the solar equinox was architecturally enforced. The sun's position at equinox produced specific illumination patterns within the ceremonial spaces, fixing the timing of mass gatherings to an astronomical calendar. A society without documented writing transported 144-ton blocks across a lake, manufactured them to machining-grade tolerances, embedded a subsurface water management system beneath the structure, organized pilgrimage events across hundreds of kilometers, and timed mass ceremonial gatherings to verified astronomical events. The chemical record of those gatherings survives on the instruments the participants used. After the Tiwanaku collapsed, the populations that followed dismantled the precision H blocks and repurposed them as foundation rubble in simpler structures. The technical knowledge required to understand what they were taking apart was gone within a generation. The subsurface anomalies remain unexcavated. The geochemical question remains open. What the evidence does establish is that the organizational and technical capacity of the Tiwanaku was substantially greater than the surviving record suggested before these surveys began. The question that Puma Punku raises is not who built it, that is documented. The question is what conditions allowed a pre-literate society without metal tools or draft animals to develop and sustain the engineering, astronomical, and logistical competencies that the physical record now confirms. And the further question is what it means that an entire knowledge system of that order disappeared so completely that the people who inherited the site used its most precisely manufactured components as fill. The 2025 underground survey data suggests the site has not yet been fully read. A significant portion of it remains below the surface unexcavated. If you have a view on what those excavations will show, leave it below. This analysis is part of a longer series. The same questions, modular precision construction, astronomical orientation, large-scale ritual organization, appear at sites in Peru and Egypt. If you want early access to that research as it develops, subscribe to this channel.